Well, it's about that time again. I'd like to welcome you back to my studio. Why don't you grab yourself a soda or a glass of iced tea or a cup of coffee, whatever you like to drink, and watch this whole video that I got here in its entirety. Just relax, watch the whole thing. Then maybe if you want to, try it along with me. And then later on, when you feel ready, try it by yourself. Remember that repetition is the mother of learning. That's how you really wrap your head around painting, just by doing it again and again and again. Of course, a few classes at some point doesn't hurt either. Well, on my canvas here, I've got it turned horizontal this time, and I've got a very thin layer of titanium white across the surface. All I did was I thinned down the titanium white with some linseed oil, and that has got the canvas all wet. It's ready to go. It can take all kinds of paint already. I don't have to fight with it. Now, I'm using a canvas that I've already painted on again. And you can do that if you paint on a canvas and you don't like what you did. You can always repaint it. There's no law anywhere posted in art stores or museums that says I can't paint over a canvas that I've already painted on. Believe me, artists have done it again and again and again. Every artist you can think of. Name an artist, they've done it. Now let's take a look at the colors today. I've got all my favorites again. I've got cadmium yellow pale right here, cadmium scarlet right here, titanium white, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and phthalo green. And now, with that, why don't we jump right into this, huh? Let's grab the 2-inch brush today. Now, when I use brushes like this, I like to use brushes with natural hairs. I know I tell you guys again and again and again that you should use a brush with natural hairs, and it's very important that you do, because if you use a brush with synthetic hairs, it doesn't work as well. What happens is that when you try to do all the strokes, all the bristles will tend to separate, because the synthetic brushes, they tend not to be made all that well, whereas the natural hair brushes have more, spring to them. I guess you could say they just don't separate quite as easily, so all the strokes that you see look a lot better. I've used synthetic brushes. You can do it too if you really have to, but I like the look of the natural hair brushes a lot better. Anyway, 2-inch brush right now. Let's go ahead and pull out some ultramarine blue here, because we gotta get going with the sky. But for this sky today, I wanted to get the lightest touch. The lightest touch of phthalo green. I think I didn't exactly get a light touch there, but it'll do. We're aiming for kind of a cyan color today, a teal color. Did you know cyan and teal are pretty much the same color? Well, if you didn't, now you do. Remember that you've got the lightest touch of phthalo green in there, because you're shifting it towards cyan. You gotta be careful with phthalo green. Phthalo green is a powerhouse. He's one of those guys over at Muscle Beach that lifts all kinds of weights, and boy, he'll bully you around if you're not careful. Although at times he can be the nicest fellow in the world. I don't know if you've ever met muscle men, but they tend to be very nice people until you throw them off their schedule. Anyway, start at the top here, and we'll do X strokes. Notice how I'm just kind of wiping back and forth with a very exaggerated stroke. And there's a reason for that, because this is how you get very natural looking skies. And the clouds, when you paint like this, kind of just happens. As you make strokes all the way down here, the paint will get lighter and lighter and lighter because of the titanium white that's already on the canvas. So you don't have to work all that hard. The dark value color is at the top of the canvas. Lighter value stuff is at the bottom. Now I want to stop right here because I got some stuff I'm going to do that's going to look kind of cool once we're done with it. But I do want to go in here and just wipe my brush across the canvas because I'm creating water here. Alright, we're going to be going back to the water today. And if I get a few mistakes here, this is where our horizon line is going to be. Our horizon line is going to be roughly in the middle of the canvas. If you're a little off, don't worry. It's all good. Now, I don't want to go too far because we got some more stuff that we're going to throw in here with a different color. I'm going to throw that down, the reflections over there. But I will pull some of this all the way over here. Maybe we got some of that going over there. Just to get that blue in there. I don't want to work too hard, you know. Working hard's for the birds. That's how I feel about that. And, you know, get some darker color in the foreground, because in the background, I don't know that there's necessarily going to be as much dark color back there. Things tend to get a lot lighter. There. Okay. Very good. Alright, let's go ahead and... Ooh, my alizarin crimson is giving me a little bit of a drip today. Well, you know, sometimes your paints, they'll drip a little bit when you work with them. And if they do drip, you can just take your paper towel across the palette there and wipe up some of that oil. Alizarin crimson can be a very oily color. Generally, you want to try to have a firm paint when you're doing this technique that we call alla prima, or painting it all at once. Now, in the bucket here that I'm going to clean off the brush with, I've got odorless turpentine in the bucket. I use a 5-gallon bucket that's made with industrial strength plastic, and that way it can handle the harsh solvent of odorless turpentine. I do not use pure gum turpentine, because that pure gum turpentine, ooh, it's not going to do you any favors. It's gonna mess with your head, it's gonna mess with your body. It's toxic. Not that odorless turpentine isn't toxic, but the fumes on pure gum turpentine are a lot worse. I like to use a very light odorless turpentine, one that has a flash point of about 140 degrees to 200 plus. Those are the ones I really prefer. Put the lid back on that because we don't want to be huffing that all day long. Now let's beat it off. Okay. Now let's give this brush a little wipe down. Just like that. Okay. And if you got a little bit of excess, you know, odorless turpentine in there, just wipe it on the paper towel. That's good. Okay. Now, we're not done quite yet, are we? No. I'm going to go ahead. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pull out a little bit of that white there. Pull out a little bit of that white with my 2-inch brush, okay? And now I'm going to get the lightest touch of the alizarin in there. And you got to be careful when you play around with alizarin, because alizarin is a really strong color. It's not as strong as phthalo green, but it's certainly strong enough, okay? Now, I've got a lot of paint on this brush, okay? Look how much paint is on there. It's quite a bit of paint. Now, when I tell you that you can use any brush to make clouds, I'm not fooling around. You can just swirl around any which way. You can get a little bit more white paint on there. You know, go in and play with stuff. You just wave your brush around, pretty much. That's really all there is to that. You go in there, wave your brush around. Maybe you want some more white on there. No shame in getting a lot of white on this, okay? There. And I want my sky to have a little bit of color to it when I'm doing things, so, you know, I go in there and I put the alizarin crimson in that white just to give it a little sparkle. It's a good way to liven things up, and maybe I'll go up in here and do a few things there, and, you know, maybe go in here and at the bottom I want to have more of that kind of alizarin sheen. I'll go in here, and a lot of this is going to be covered up by trees, so we don't have to work too hard at it. There. Isn't that fun? Yeah, that's the way we can do it. We don't have to do it this way. You can go ahead and use your fan brush to make clouds if it makes it feel more comfortable. I know how it is. You have a certain way of doing things, and God, you don't want to deviate from that, because well, the way you do it already feels so good. But that's just one way we can do it. Now we can take our clean 2-inch brush, because I've got two 2-inch brushes here, and you know, if you don't have two of them, you can just clean off the one. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just blend out the bottom of this with very light hairs like that. See that? See how we've already got some stuff going right there? Like, we're going to haze it up now. Just going to haze it up. Don't have to worry about nothing. We're hazing it up. Haze out the bottom of all those clouds that you just made, no matter how haphazard they may seem. Okay? Look how easy that is. Now we're just going to give them some fluff. Fluff, fluff. There. Fluff it up. Fluff it up. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Yeah. Did I get everyone here? I don't know, but I'll give it a little bit of fluff anyway. There. Now we're just going to run this across the canvas very lightly. Don't want to demolish everything that we did. Just want to kind of smooth it out a little bit so it's easier to paint on later. There. You don't have to... Don't press right in the canvas when you're doing this. Be real gentle. Imagine that you're just caressing a kitten. Meow. Yeah. That's good. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now let's clean off both these brushes because we're going to need them later. Right? Okay. Now I've got a grating on the bottom of this. It's made of plastic. You gotta be careful what kind of material you use for a grating, because if it's not a material that can handle odorless turpentine as a solvent, then it's gonna dissolve. Okay. Let's go ahead and clean this bad boy off, give the old wipe down after we beat it off. There. Okay, that brush is clean. Let's go ahead and give this one the old treatment. Sometimes it's funny, you think about how everything is old. Give the old treatment, give the old wipe down, the old beat off. Yeah. I like to wipe off the excess on the edge there before I beat it off. That way it doesn't kind of go flying everywhere when I do this. Most of the time. Most of the time. Yeah. Now let's give it the wipe down. There. If there's any excess on your brush, you can just wipe it on the paper towel. Like I tell you. There. That's the way we do it. Be sure you cover that up, because you don't want to be huffing that. Nope. Alright. Now let's go ahead and get the 2-inch brush again, because we got some stuff we want to do. Have that ready, but get out a big palette knife, because the big palette knife is going to make us real happy very shortly here. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of this color that we were using. I'm going to get a little bit of that ultramarine, some of this, and some of that cadmium yellow pale, and just the lightest touch of that alizarin. And that's good enough. We don't want to overmix things. If you overmix things, it makes the color look very uniform and less interesting, so it's really not worth it. Okay. Now, I'm tapping the bristles, right? Tapping the bristles like this evenly distributes the color, whereas wiping it in would really cake the color on the brush, so you gotta decide what you want to do there. Alright, so let's go to right about here. Alright. There. And I've got kind of a color that's leaping off the brush there. Okay, let's maybe get a little bit more of that. I want to get a little bit more of that dark color on there. When you do dark colors like this, press from bottom to top, okay? Bottom to top. Make sure that your value is evenly distributed. Let me make sure that I got my, let me pull my brush here. I want to make sure that I've got that level. Sometimes it's hard to see when you paint at an angle like I do. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. Now let's get the other brush. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and just, pull this down a little bit. Maybe decide a little bit where I want my shapes to be. Just right about there. Yeah, that's good. Hold on. Hold on. Pull that down a little bit further. Pull this down a little bit. There it goes. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, what we can do here is maybe, we'll set the 2-inch brushes aside, and we'll get the 1-inch brush, maybe pull it just a little bit through that cadmium yellow right there. Now my cadmium yellow is very firm. I don't know how yours is. And I'm going to take a lot of blue on this one. A lot of blue. In fact, more blue than I really need to, because I want there to be kind of a dull color about it. I'm going to get some white on this. There. Yeah, get some white on that. You might even want to, oh, I don't know. You might consider getting a little bit of the turpentine on this just to loosen up the paint a little bit, because if you got real firm paint, you want to try to loosen that up some. Remember that thinner paint is going to stick on top of the thick paint. Okay. Now I'm wiping it this time. I'm not tapping it. I'm wiping it. So I got lots of paint on the bristles. This paint is kind of thin, so when I finally put it on, it looks like there's a lot of paint on the brush, and there is, but the paint is very thin because I used the odorless paint thinner on that. Okay. So let's go ahead, go over here. Yeah, let's see. We're gonna just, now when I do this, I want to make sure that the bristles bend up like that. See how I do that? Okay, and we're not going to destroy everything. We're gonna, there. There, that's good. That's good. Okay. We can go ahead and leave that where it is, I think. Well, I'll do one more right here. One more. There. And then I'll go down in here and throw a little bit more down right in here, like right there. Right there. Okay. Okay. And then we can go back in and just throw some reflections in there. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, what do you say we clean these brushes off, because they're a little dirty. Wipe that down. Alright. Got one brush clean off. Okay. I want to clean off this knife. Let me set down my palette for this one. There. It's a little easier for me to clean off the knife when I got the palette down. There. Get as much paint as you can off the knife. Sometimes it's a little hard to get all the paint off of there because, you know, the paint likes to get in sneaky places. Paint likes to play tricks on you. Don't forget that. They're mischievous little things, colors. Get every which way. They'll get in every nook and cranny. They'll take you for a little spin if you don't keep an eye on them. Okay. But at the same time, they're your friends, so treat them nice. It's hard to have friends if you don't treat them nice. Yep. Sometimes you learn the hard way about that. Don't treat friends right for long enough. Well, go find someone who will treat them right. I guess that goes for your significant other too. Okay, let's beat it off. excess off of that. And now let's do the 1-inch brush. Because we can't leave the 1-inch brush out of the fun. We gotta give him his little treatment. He's entitled to it. There we go. That's better. Try to get as much color off your brush as you can. You don't want to leave too much paint on there. If you leave too much paint, or you leave just enough paint, your brush is going to be unusable because the bristles are going to get all dried out. It's not going to be any fun anymore. You're not going to enjoy painting so much. Alright. Okay. That's good. Now let's give it the wipe down. That's better. Okay. That's good. Alright. That's nice. Now cover up your... Hold on, let me set that in a nice place there. Cover up the turpentine. Let's get going. I'm going to take my big palette knife and I'm going to get some ultramarine here. I'm going to get a little bit of alizarin crimson. I'm going to get a small touch of that yellow. Okay. Now we've got some colors that we got to throw down back here. Let's go ahead and take that mix that we made, and let's go ahead and just, we can start at the bottom here and tap it right there. There. We don't have to do too much here. Not too much. In fact, I might get some of that phthalo green in there with that blue. And then a little bit of alizarin crimson. Doesn't need to be any yellow in there. Okay. Tap it in. And now, start at the bottom, work your way up. There. Yeah, you just do things. Okay. That's good. That's good. One more right there. Hold on. Right there. That's better. Okay. Now, let's get off the 1-inch brush. Let's maybe get a little bit of the yellow into this thin mix here. Maybe we want, I don't know. Maybe we want some of that dull yellow color. But pull it through the paint. Don't tap it, because we want to get a lot of it on the bristles, right? Okay. So again, start right about here. There. And work your way up. And we're not going to worry too much about these colors right here. These colors are fine the way they are. We've got the dark laid down. We've got the light bits laid out. We don't have to go ahead and play around with value too much on that one. So let's go ahead. Got some paint on my arm. Yeah, occupational hazard. Clean up the brushes, baby. Okay. Wipe it on the edge. Beat it off. Okay. Get the paper towels out. Wipe it down. Do it with the other brush. Brushes are clean. Let's take that color, but throw it back on the pile because we're going to need it. I'm going to get out my paper towels and put my palette down, clean off the knife. Because you know how cleaning palette knives are. Tricky business. You know, I spend a lot of time painting landscapes because of serenity. It makes me feel good inside to paint them. I look at these places and that I've visited so often when I was younger. I visit them now and realize, man, things have always been pretty good whenever I've come here, whenever I look at these places. I don't know, you look at nature and you interact with it. There's a certain peace that overwhelms you that you just can't really get any other way. You live in the city and things feel a lot different here, a lot more hectic. Now I'm sure life's not any easier out there and all the woodlands and everything. I'm sure they've got their own set of problems, but sometimes I like to think that maybe it could be more peaceful there. I don't think it is though. I think they got just as many problems as we do. Alright, us city slickers. Alright, let's go ahead and get a little bit more of that phthalo green, and we'll get the alizarin crimson right here, and I don't know, we'll get some of that blue, ultramarine blue, and we'll create some nice dark greenish looking color. So we got a lot of stuff here that we gotta throw down. What are we gonna throw down next, do you think? What are you gonna throw down next? I'm gonna tell you what we are gonna do. We're gonna get this color and tap into it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go right about here, I think. Yeah. Okay. You know, just go ahead and work your way up. Work your way up as it gets lighter toward the sky like that. There you go. Look at that. Look at all those wonderful things that just happen. Start at the bottom. Look at that. Look how easy it is. Look how easy. Start at the bottom, work your way up. Hold on, let's get a little bit more right there. There. Yeah. Look how easy that is. Isn't that wonderful? Now if you want to, you can get a little bit more color in there and, you know, pull some more stuff out and get a little bit more alizarin in there too. I don't want to get too much alizarin because you know how it is. I like to go ahead and just have a little bit. There. Now we probably want, I think that we want another thing in here. I'm going to start down here. Don't forget to start at the bottom, work your way up. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Remember, start at the bottom, work your way up. Okay? And you know, you can just keep inserting things as you get to the top. But if you're going to go to the bottom, you want to get more paint on your brush because you want those shadowy colors to look so much darker at the bottom because that's where all the shadow is going to be. The light tends to hit the trees more as you go up toward the top. Okay? Now what do I want to do next? What do I want to do next? Well, I think that, I'm just gonna do a little something here. Throw that in there. And maybe we'll reach out over here. Maybe I'll go even higher than that. Yeah. I want to go down to the bottom here, where I think the bottom is going to be, and press. Okay. And maybe we got some hanging things over here. Hanging things. Yeah, that really narrows it down, right? Okay. Just throw that down there. There. Mix up a little bit more of this dark color. It's okay to mix it up Cause yourself a little bit of variation as you go. Make sure the bristles bend up when you're painting like this. And twist it around and create all kinds of interesting little things that happen. Don't be afraid to create all those interesting little patterns and everything. And bring it out far enough that it makes a difference where you're painting it. Alright? I'm going to cover up some of the stuff that I've been painting here, right? I'm going to come out to right about there. And there. At the bottom. Some more of that color. More of that alizarin crimson. More of that blue. There. A lot of that blue. See how dark that is? Look how dark that is. Yeah. That's the way we want to do it. Okay. And then as we paint in some of this other stuff, I'm not going to do all the darks right here, right now, because there's some more darks I want to put in a second here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. There. I just wanted to get some more in there. Give it some more encouragement here at the bottom. Make it look real shadowy like that. Okay. Pushing color around. That's my business. Business sure is good. Okay, that's enough. We're having fun today. We're having fun. That really is the point, right? You're having fun while you're making art. If you're not having fun while you're making art, then I don't know, man. Why are you doing it? Doesn't seem to be a good reason to make art if you're not having fun doing it. Let's take some of that alizarin crimson with the big knife now. And a little bit of that. Ooh. A little bit of that cadmium yellow there. I want to mix up a brown color. I want a dark brown color though. I want a dark brown color. So let's go ahead and get some of that ultramarine there. Yeah, that's looking like a cool brown color, huh? Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Alright, so we got some of that color. Ooh, I'm going to cut across again there. So you got the little bead of paint right on the edge there, and that's how you know that's gonna work for you. Alright, so we got some crazy things that are going to happen here. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull my knife through, and I'm going to have lots of little trees and stuff that are just kind of happening. There. Ooh. Yeah. Just let the palette knife take you where it wants. Because sometimes it's got ideas of its own, and you're kind of collaborating with your tools a little bit when you do this sort of thing. They got a say in the painting too. Alright? Alright. Sometimes I like to twist my palette knife all different ways like this, because it's a little easier to control from some angles than others. I don't know. You can twist it around like that and pull through that way. Maybe you want to go in here and throw down suggestion of some tree trunks or something, just like that. Put in some trunks over there, or not trunks, but branches. Yeah, really. You can tell where my head is, right? You can go over here and throw in. Ooh, there's a little too much paint, but that's okay. Maybe something over there. We're just suggesting things. We're suggesting things. Nothing is set in stone yet. Maybe you got a couple of branches over there, or a tree trunk. Yeah, no, I got that one wrong. And don't make it too uniform. Make it look like it's just all over the place, you know? Maybe put another one right next to it right here. You know, sometimes tree trunks, you know, they get lonely too. You know how life is. Sometimes people just need someone to hang out with. Maybe they want to play some video games. Maybe they got one of those new Switch games that everyone's playing. You know, doesn't hurt to play a game. Maybe they want to play it online. They need each other's code or something. Who knows? Okay, I've got some stuff over here. Now, what do you say we go over here maybe? Just suggest some things there. There. We're just putting branches and trunks every which way, aren't we? Yeah, a little bit. Alright, so if you really want to go the extra mile here, you can take some of that color that you made and add some white to it like that. Get yourself a real lively brown color. And we're going to cut through that too. It's going to be a nice grayish brown color, okay? So since the light is coming from the left over here, we're going to put some light on these trunks. Right there. Oh yeah, that's good. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't. What do I know? I don't know nothing. I'm just some guy who paints a lot. I'm just some guy who paints a lot. Just remember that. Every time you think that I know something, just remind yourself, what does he know? If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to listen to a word I say. Alright, just, it helps to really put a light on here if you take the branch or the paint and you pull it another way, like right here. It helps me to pull it that way, whereas over on this side it's a little easier if I just pull it that way, right? And then right here, and then maybe, I don't know. Got some stuff happening there, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Okay. That's good. That's good. Just want to liven things up a little bit, because it's a party here. It's a party here in the woods, over here, near the water. I mean, if there's a water, surely somewhere along the way there's going to be people swimming in it, because that's what people do with water, you know? Oh yeah. Alright, that's probably enough of that. Let's go ahead and clean off the palette knife. We don't need to keep painting all those trees ad nauseam. We just needed to maybe suggest a few things. That's all I want to do, is just suggest some things. And I don't even know if it's going to look good after I'm done painting it, but I sure hope it will. It'd be terrible if I finish painting this and boy, it just looked awful. Let's go ahead and get the 1-inch brush here. I'm going to pick up my palette. Now, what do I want to do with this, do I think? Well, I'm going to get some yellow, that's for sure. Pull some of that bad boy out. Get that yellow in there. Now we're going to get some of this color that we've been using. And I'm going to start over in here. Okay. Just a little bit more. Maybe I want some of that white in there too. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to pull it through the paint because I really want that paint to be thick. I want that thick paint on there. I might even get a little bit more cadmium. Ooh, that's nice, that's nice. Okay, let's go ahead here. And we'll start probably at the top here because that's going to be much thicker, I think. Yeah. Alright, we'll start right about here. Yeah, look at that. Look how beautiful that is already. And don't destroy all those darks that we created, huh? Leave some of them in. Leave some of them in. Let them hang out. Okay? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Let's go in and maybe Had a few things over here occasionally. Yeah. And, you know, there's going to be a couple of things over here that we're going to leave because we're not going to cover everything up. I'm just going to get a little bit more yellow on that. Maybe a little bit more white too. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go over here. Look how much paint I've got on that brush there. It's so thick that the edge is kind of just curling forward. It's kind of a big deal because that means you got a lot of paint on the brush, all right? So go up here, and then we're going to tap it. Okay? And I'm going to leave the left side of this mostly intact. Not the left side, but the right side. Okay? There. Now, I'm not going to leave everything intact because we gotta go in here and do some stuff to it. All right. There. Now notice how the left side or the right side is kind of taking shape. It's looking pretty interesting so far. Look how nice that looks actually. Now I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it looks like it's working pretty well. Okay. I don't want to do too much more to that side. So I'm going to go over here now. I'm going to take some of that color, and a little bit of that white. Another color, a little bit of that white. Actually, let me get a little bit of blue in there. I'm going to do one set of colors over here on this side, and be sure you pull it through the paint. Pull it through the paint as I want to do. All right, and then right here, yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now I got that duller green over there. Okay. And that's adequate for that. We don't have to keep going ad nauseum on that area right there. So we're going to go back in a little bit and do some more stuff. So let's go ahead, pull through the cadmium yellow, and go back in that color. Maybe we'll get a little bit more phthalo green on this. This is one of the fun things about painting like this, is that you just kind of make some decisions on the go. You don't have to go all this extensive planning and everything. You just pick which colors you want and you run with it. And I want a lot of yellow on here actually. I want a lot of yellow because I want this to be kind of a bright color. I want just a touch more titanium on there. Cool. Now again, I'm pulling it through the paint. Look how much paint I got on there. Ooh, that is a lot of paint, okay? Alright, now let's go up here. And I don't want to destroy everything in between the layers that I got, so we're just going to go right here. Ooh, ooh, look at that color. Ooh, ooh. Just look at that. Look at that. My God. That's nice. That's nice. Alright. Now get some more of that color if you need to. And kind of go in here. And just wherever you need to. Wherever you need to. Maybe there's just little areas that need a little something. Like maybe right here. Maybe right there needs something to make it shape up a little bit. There. Yeah, we don't have to do too much more with that right there. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's clean off our brushes. Let's clean off our brushes. Okay, 1-inch brush is clean. Now we have to do with the 2-inch brush because we got that one pretty dirty. Let me check to make sure that my other brush is clean. Yeah, there it is. If you ever have to wonder if your brush is clean, just run your finger across it. You'll find out pretty quickly. Your brushes might like to, well, your colors might like to play tricks on you, but your tools are painfully honest. There, okay. And there's the wipe down. And that's how you know we're ready to start using our tools again. Okay. Clean my hands off because I got some odorous turpentine on them there. Alright, we can go ahead and pull this off, I think. I don't think we need any more of that. Alright. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my 2-inch brush. I'm going to go through this dark paint. Okay. I'm going to pull some phthalo in there, some alizarin, and some blue. Okay. I got all those colors there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to do kind of the same thing that I was doing. I'm going to create a few things here. Like maybe I'll create this bush right here. I don't know. Create a bush right there. Make sure it's real dark at the bottom. As it goes toward the top, it gets lighter. There. So I got that. Okay. And then I'll go down in here. And maybe I want to keep creating some more color like that. Maybe I want to keep pulling those colors that I was using. Phthalo, alizarin crimson, and the ultramarine, the blue. And I'll go in here and create this. There. So now I've got this color right here. Maybe I want to darken that up a little bit. I'll just create some more color. Okay. There it is. There it is. And maybe there's one right next to it. Maybe there's one right next to it like that. Yeah, maybe there is. Who knows? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is with those colors, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just lay in some ground here. Because we've got to pull out a whole bunch of ground over the side here. So let's go ahead and just create some stuff all the way over to this area right here. There. Maybe I'll get some more blue in there. You know, maybe some more green. Maybe we want to get it all the way over here. You know, maybe we've got something kind of just, well, I like to paint in layers when I do this, so I won't go and do anything that's too out of the ordinary. But I will go here, and right about there is where I want the ground to really end. Okay, good, good. So let's go ahead and clean off this brush, because this brush is pretty dirty. Let's give it the wipe down. There it goes. Clear off any excess odorless turpentine on the brush. Alright. And now that brush is ready to paint again. Alright, that's good. So, what I think would be a good idea is to take the 1-inch brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a lot of the cad yellow right here. This is going to be mostly cad yellow, I think, because we're at the point where we got to start busting out some pretty bright colors. Maybe I'll get just a touch of that phthalo in there, touch of the white. Okay, titanium white. All right, and again, pull it through. Don't tap, pull. And right here, yeah, that's the way. Tap at the top, then bring it down. Because remember, when we start the tree with the shadow, we go from the bottom up. When we highlight it, we go from the top down. All right? Now maybe you want to get a couple of things over to the side there. Maybe. If you do, don't overdo it, because you want the shadow side to appear so that it really accentuates what you've done with the lights. Okay? Let's start right there. Turn the brush and go down. Right there. Look at that. I got some bushes right there. Check that out. It's pretty cool, huh? It's pretty cool how automatically that happens. Again, mostly just cad yellow and white. Remember that there's a lot of blue and green in that color that we lay down. Okay? So now we go over here with this color, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing. And we're going to go in with a couple of things here and there to really accentuate this particular tree or bush. Okay? There. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. That's the stuff, honestly. I could probably go in there and just even add a little bit more white there. Yeah, sometimes I get carried away. Yeah, I'm going to get carried away if I go too much longer here. Okay. So over here on this ground, I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead with the 2-inch brush, and we're going to just pull it through. Ooh. Yeah, pull it through the cad yellow there. Get a lot of that color, and we're going to get some white in there. Ooh. And we're going to cake it on this brush. I mean, look how much paint is on that 2-inch brush right there. It's a lot of cad yellow and white. All right. So now what we want to do is we just want to go ahead through here, and we're going to start right here. We're going to just lay down some ground. Lay down some ground. Okay. And I'm going to go all the way up to the edge where I stopped here. There. In fact, if I pull some more titanium and white through there, I can get a couple more sparkles. Because maybe we want some sparkles. Maybe we want that land to look a little more lively. There, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Go up in here. Just some of that. There. Now doesn't the land look more complete? Yeah, sure does. And let's go ahead and clean off the brush now. Because we gotta have a clean brush. These 2-inch brushes are valuable, but we gotta clean them off or else we can't paint. Oh, woe is us. Give it the wipe down. Okay. That's good. That's good. And then we'll go ahead and clean this brush off too. sponge brush gets it. Alright. That's good. Let me give the wipe down. Perfect. Now, what do you say we go ahead and, well, I might need a 1-inch brush for this, because we're going to need to go in some pretty tight areas here. And this is one case where the 2-inch brush is just not going to cut it. So I want that phthalo, I want that blue, and I want that alizarin crimson. And we're just going to tap into the brush, and then we're going to pick a place like right about, I don't know, maybe right here. And we'll do as we always do, start at the bottom and follow the lay of the land here. Like the grass looks like it's going right down that way. Okay, so let's start at the bottom, go that way, and cool. Alright, we got that color. Alright, let's do another one like right in here. And it's gonna be a pretty big one, honestly. So let's get a lot of phthalo green in there. And a lot of alizarin crimson. Well, a little alizarin crimson. You don't want too much alizarin crimson. You want more blue and phthalo green than you want alizarin crimson. I kind of want to cake this one on. So let's wipe it on the brush. All right, and right about here. Again, we're following the lay of the land. We'll pop it right there. Okay, and there it goes. Pick a place, just pop it in. It's how easy it is to pop in these things. It's kind of just, kind of almost hanging on the edge. Hanging on the edge like that. Because there's going to be some rocks here in a second. I haven't painted them yet, but they're going to be there. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got this. Okay. There it is. Alright. Here, that's good. Here. I got a feeling that I want to go ahead and set some ground there at the bottom. There. Make that a little darker at the bottom, and then lighter as it goes up. Remember, that's the rule of painting these bushes here. I haven't been doing that recently, and my trees haven't been, and bushes and stuff haven't been looking as good for it, so just a helpful hint, I guess we'll say. Alright, that's pretty good. So let's clean off the brush. Wipe down. Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's take the other brush, our other 1-inch brush. Let's highlight these bad boys, okay? I'm going to take a lot of white on my green this time. I'm kind of just going to go up here and remember, on the left side, that's where the highlight is. So go in there, and then you want to just kind of suggest it when you go to the other side. Twist the brush to the other side there. There it goes. Look, that's about it. That's all there is to that one. And then maybe over here for this one, we want to get a lot more yellow on it, huh? Still want a lot of white, I think. A lot of white on that one. But we do want a lot of yellow. So get that yellow, pull through the paint. You can get some white on there too. Get some more white. You want about equal part white and yellow. Okay. If we really want, we could even go into our cadmium scarlet and do some things while we're highlighting it. Okay. Maybe you got that going. Okay. And then just make sure the bristles bend up. Okay, like that, like that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe while you're highlighting that, maybe you're getting a little bit of the having scarlet in there, and maybe you're doing a couple of things like that, and maybe we're going to go ahead and get some more white and highlight that way. There, look at that. Sometimes you can just tap the edge of the brush and it'll create some things pretty much automatically that way. There. And just one more down here, one more down there. Okay. Create one more right up here. There. Yeah. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. Just highlighting that bush the best we can. Okay. Okay. Now there's a few things I want to do with this water here. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's clean up the brush. Let's clean up the brush. Because it's dirty. It's too dirty. If it gets really, really dirty, you can go ahead and just bat it on there. Now, God, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of all the times I used to hop in the lake and swim, and you know, all the kids would hop in the lake and swim up north and stuff where all this takes place, because, you know, northern Michigan has a lot of very scenic areas. It's mostly a flat land, so you don't see a lot of mountains and everything. You see some pretty interesting architecture, not architecture, but land though. Like, for instance, the sand dunes. You see some of that, and then you see, well, we have a lot of woodland areas, so that's pretty cool too. I spent a lot of time in those when I was a kid. Alright, so what I want to do here, I want to take some of this alizarin crimson, alright, and I'm going to get some of my yellow, a little bit more of my yellow, okay, and a little bit of the blue, because I don't want it to be too intense here, but I do want more alizarin crimson and more yellow. In fact, let's just go ahead and cake this in yellow. Here it goes. There. I might have better luck going in with my palette knife here. Let's go in with the palette knife and mix up a color. A big palette knife. Don't want to waste too much color, because we got a few things we still got to do here. Yeah, it looks like a pretty nice ochreish looking yellow right there, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Now let's not overmix that. We don't want to overmix that at all. Now I'm going to go in here with my brush, my fan brush, right? I'm going to cake both sides of that. And here's what's going to happen. I'm just going to go in here, and it's just going to be like some reflection stuff of all the things that are happening in the water here. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to go ahead and make it look like, ooh, everything is calm here. No. Things are not that calm. The waves are always moving. They're always moving. Okay? So they're always moving like this. Go over here, they're still moving over here. Alright. Over here, they're still moving. And all the way over here. Alright. All the way over here. There. Maybe there's a couple of things going right here. Okay. Some stuff happening near the land over here. Just bring it all the way up to the edge, because it's going to be covered by rocks, a lot of that. Alright, so since we got a lot of the waves painted right here, let's go ahead and just accent a few things. I think maybe we got some of that over there. Maybe we got a few things over here. I don't know. There. And then maybe with our dry brush, we can go in. Make it look like a little smoother. Okay, just like that. And now I'm going to clean off my fan brush because I want to go back in with some blue color. Okay, that's good. There. That's about the best I can hit it on the edge of the easel. You can't hit it on the edge of the easel too hard, or else it might break. Okay, let's take some of this blue here, some of that blue, and where I want. Right about there is good. Yeah, right about there is good. We don't have too much more we got to do. I'm just gonna get a touch of that phthalo in there. That's cool. Now let's get some white. Okay, get the white in there. Make sure that it's a pretty strong color. How does it look against that? Yeah, it looks like a pretty strong color. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just get it a little wetter like that. So maybe I can get some more. Yeah, I might have gotten a little too much medium in there. It's okay. I can get a little bit more of that blue, a little bit more of that green. There. A little bit more of the white. Okay. Alright, so now we can go in. Actually, let me get more white. I thought I didn't need quite so much white, but I guess I need a little bit more. Alright. That's better. That's better. Okay. So go in right here. And maybe. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty nice. We'll go in right here too. And remember, the waves are going everywhere they want. They're not. Actually, I don't know how much I really like what I did there, so I'll just kind of paint over that. It's distracting, that reflection over there. I don't know how much I like it. There. Okay. If I want, I can go back in with some color and paint a few extra things. Okay. Just like this. There. Just like that. That looks pretty interesting, actually. Cool. So I can go back in with a little bit of blue, maybe a little bit of phthalo if I want. Try to keep that cyan color. I want more of a middle tone-ish color right now. And I'm just going to go right in here and yeah, there we go. And then maybe right here we'll give it a little bit of a something at the shoreline. There. That's cool. That's actually much better. Okay. Alright. So that's the thing about the waves, is that they move a lot, man. That is the thing. They don't have that kind of straight-laced look when you brush the lines to the side and everything. Sometimes that works when the waters are calm, but a lot of times the waters around Michigan are not so calm. They move a lot. Okay. Alright, I think we got that handled. Cool. So let's think about what the finishing touches on this painting are going to look like. Maybe I'll just go on some white to accent. You don't have to get a lot of white, just a little bit of white, just to accent these areas where we have some of that orange reflection type color in there. There. Okay. Look at that. Is that nice? Yeah, it is. Let's just throw some of that in there. Doesn't hurt to have a little sparkle on there. Little sparkles. There. Okay. That's good. Let's clean up this brush again. Well, I guess I can beat it off. There. Yeah, I went there. Okay, let me clean off my palette knife. The color's getting pretty wild on that thing. There. That's better. Let's see, what else can we do with this painting? Huh? There. That's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and remove that. Perfect. Well, I think for the next bit here, I want to go ahead and insert some stones. So let's take the big palette knife now. And let's go ahead with that brown color that we did. And I don't know, maybe we'll get a little bit more alizarin crimson in it. Just to liven it up a little. Get some more alizarin crimson in that. Maybe some more blue. Oh boy, we're out of colors, ain't we? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Anyway, this is a pretty good color. We don't have to concern ourselves too much. All right, let's go ahead and we're just gonna kind of smear the color on that. All right. Yeah, that's right. Smear the color on there. That's good. That's fine. Now these are supposed to be just these little rock formations right here, right? But since we got to do it quickly, this is how we do it. This is how we do it quickly. Unless you want to paint every individual little rock, which is fine, but it can be pretty time consuming, you know? Yeah. So decide how big you want the rock formation to be. Like maybe, this is pretty good because we got some nice violet shadows going. And we got, ooh, yeah, that's good. Maybe I wanted to go a little further this way. Yeah, I want it to go a little further down, actually. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. You can make this as big as you want if you want to. Man, I remember when I was a kid, there used to be all kinds of rock formations everywhere. You'd see rock formations on the side of the house. You'd see, you know, rock formations close to the water. See just random rock formations in the middle of the road. Not really. On the side of the road, maybe. On the side of the road, maybe. Yeah. There's a lot of stone landscaping over there, and where I used to play around as a kid and stuff. Actually, where I used to play around, we had a big pile of lumber, and we had, you know, a little beach with some sand, which, you know, sounds kind of weird for Michigan, but that's the way it is. Okay. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just taking some of this color and I'm kind of pulling it down as though this was a mountain or something. And this is really the easiest way to create rock formation like this is just take a light color like this and pull it down at random intervals. Just like that. Okay. Like maybe you got one right there. Yeah. Okay. Just like that. Just like that. Now, let's go ahead and, well, I guess I could wipe this knife off. Yeah, let's go ahead and wipe this knife off. I think I like the sound of that. Yeah, get all that color off. We don't need any of that. Not anymore. Gotta be careful where we wipe it because we're gonna be wiping our brush on this pretty shortly. Oh boy. Didn't get all the paint off that time. Yeah, it happens. Oh, I don't want to put the knife away. I still need the knife. Yep, still need it. Because we're gonna just run the paint through that white. And we're gonna create ourselves a little bit of a shoreline right here. Okay. Yeah, just get right on the edge there. It's okay to get a lot more on than you think you need, because you know, sometimes you got all kinds of things that are happening, and yeah, just like that. And you know what we can do? Maybe, let's go ahead and just pull some of that down. Yeah, just like that. Pull some of that down. And yeah, that's good. That's good. So now we have a little guideline where to put our water line right here. Okay, so we'll put it right there, right there, right there. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be kind of just all over the place right there. Yeah. Try to keep it level. You know, sometimes the things I do are a little cockeyed, but I try to keep it mostly level when I'm doing the water lines like this. Okay. That's good. And then over here we'll do another one. Just to keep that interesting. We'll do one right here too. What the heck? That's good. Now, I don't know. Let's get the liner brush and add a couple of details here. I'm gonna put my knife down. Now, what was I gonna do? Oh, I remember what I was gonna do. I was gonna add a little bit of a shadow right here. Because of the bush right there that's kind of hanging over the water, and then I got this one over here too. There. Make sure it's kind of broken up because you don't want it to like be too uniform over the water. And over here we got the same kind of thing happening. We got a little bit of a shadow going on. You know, you just kind of make it happen. Waving that brush all around. There. That's about all that takes. And maybe we'll throw another little thing right there. Okay. And what else can we do? What else can we do? How else can we mess around with this for a little bit? Well, we could take maybe a little bit of the white, I guess, or the cadmium yellow and the white, because we still got some paint left over. And we could kind of just go in here and, you know, cover up some of this stuff. Maybe go up right to that line. There. Uh-oh. Did I do something naughty? Well, I don't know if I did. But we can go right back in. There. Wipe off the excess. Okay. Beat it off and then wipe it down. Okay. So let's go into that white there and maybe get a little bit more yellow. Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give that a little bit of encouragement right there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's some berries or something on that little thing. Who knows? There. That's right. That's right. You know, maybe we got a little something in the background over here where, I don't know, maybe we're getting a little bit of that yellow and a little bit of that cadmium scarlet there. We're going to give it a little bit of a punch up. Here we go. Maybe it needs something right there. Ooh, right there. Just a little something right there. There. Cool. There. Very nice, very nice. Okay, well, I think the last thing I'm going to do is, well, let's clean this off. There's so many little things that you can add to your painting, and you can just make it go on forever and add as many little details as you can. And like I say, I want to tell you that whenever you add stuff to your painting, this isn't how you should paint, it's how you could paint. And what I mean by that, hold on, let me put that palette down a second so I can close this. There. Again, you don't want to be huffing over this turpentine. That's why I'm so goofy as I am. I've huffed a little too much over the years. You don't have to paint exactly the way I tell you to. This is just how you could paint. And a lot of these are suggestions to get you going on your way and to really motivate you to try painting. It's not as hard as it seems, but when you first start doing it, it will be as hard as it seems, because if you've never painted before, chances are it's going to feel pretty hard. But here's just a few tips and tricks and ideas of how you can do things. And sometimes I do things, and sometimes, even for me, it doesn't work out, but maybe you can think of a way to do it better. Okay, that's good. Now, let's add some finishing touches here with our little knife. Let's go ahead into this brown color that we made. Let me get that hair out of there. I don't know if that's one of mine this time. That might be my cat. Yeah, I've got a little kitty. She's very nice. She's very sweet. Here, let me just throw some of that in there. That's good. Maybe one of those right there. That's good. Okay. And then I'll get some of this white over here to really highlight it. There. There. That's good. That's good. Actually, we can go down to, well, let's just leave it the way it is. Let's just leave it the way it is. Yeah, it's fine. Now let's set aside this palette knife. And we'll go into the yellow once again. The white. And, oops, I got a little bit of yellow there myself. I'll just give it a tap right there, cover it up. That's good. Okay, and we'll give it another tap right here. Well, maybe a couple more taps up here for encouragement. There. That's good. I'm having too much fun. Yeah, that's true. I have too much fun when I paint. Alright. Maybe there's some stuff happening right there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some stuff happening right over here. Try to follow the lay of the land when you do this, because if you follow the curve like that, it's going to look a lot better. You know, sometimes there's shadows on what you do, and you don't have to include them all. You can just throw a few of them to the wind. There's no law that says, hey, I got to put every shadow on this thing. Because sometimes you can go a little crazy putting on shadows and the picture doesn't look as good. Sometimes, you know, you leave shadows out and the picture looks a little better. It's wild when that happens, but it does happen. Okay. That brush, my liner brush, is a little dirty. A little dirty. There it goes. Okay. My 1-inch brush needs to be cleaned off for sure. There it goes. Okay. Let's go with the wipe off. There. Let's make sure this liner brush is clean. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's take care of this small palette knife. Okay. There. Good. Okay. Oops. Let's tear that off. There it goes. Close up the orifice there. There it goes. Okay. Let's see what else we could possibly do. Oh. There. There. Just to help it blend in a little bit. You can just mist it out a little bit to blend in those shadows if you have to. Do that by just tapping the canvas. Okay. Now, let's grab a palette knife, one of the palette knives. We just need a little one, we don't need a big one. Let's scratch some things in, like, I don't know, maybe there's sticks happening all over the place here. Maybe there's a few happening right there. We'll just, there's lots of little things happening all over these places. Maybe in the background here we got some sticks and stuff there. Sticks over here, maybe. I don't know. Over here we got lots of little sticks. You can go wild doing this. You can do this all day long. Of course, your painting's going to look pretty weird if you keep, carving sticks into it like this, but it's going to be a little fun. Make it a little more interesting, and especially in the dark areas where there's not a lot happening. You can help to throw some sticks in there just by carving at the canvas like that. That's pretty good. And I think right about here is where we want to sign this bad boy. So let's get a little medium on the Cad Scarlet, just like that. And right at the edge here, we'll initial it S. Okay. Well, I didn't quite get it that time. There. And that is how we know we have a finished painting. let's clean off the brushes now. Make sure that everything is all neat and tidy, because we got to be able to paint again. We just finished this painting, but we got to be able to do another one at some point. Oh boy. Maybe after the last painting I ever do, maybe I'll just maybe I'll just let the brushes dry with the paint on them. Just to let everyone know I'm done. I retire. I'm never doing it again. Nah, that's not for a while. Yeah, it's not for a while. Let's see. 1-inch brush looks cleaned up. Okay. Beat off that and get the wipe down. Now let's check to make sure all the other brushes are clean. Is this clean? Fan brush. Yeah, that's clean. Palette knife looks pretty good. Ooh, that one looks a little dirty. See, that's why we check. Gotta make sure all this stuff is clean so we can keep using it. Well, I got my hands full here. It'd help if I put my palette down while I clean off the palette knife. There. Just the edge of this one was a little dirty. Wasn't too bad. There. That's pretty good. I'll leave it at that. Ooh, this one is actually got some stuff on it. I didn't think that this 2-inch brush was still dirty. Let's make sure we clean it off then. This down. There. Now that's clean. That's definitely clean. Thank goodness. Okay, everything's hunky-dory now. Let's close this up, because it's about time to stop for today. Well, my friend, I really hope you enjoy this one. I had a lot of fun painting this. This is such a fun painting to play around with and to do some things that we haven't really done all that often before, like just painting pure woodland scenes. Ooh. But as always, I'd like to get a little bit of water in there, because you know how I feel about the water. I love it. I love being near it. If you ever go to northern Michigan, we have some lovely turquoise water during the summer. Oh, especially around the Traverse area. It's so beautiful there. That's where I get my love for very dull turquoises from. Well, I think it's about time to stop for today, and I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you got a lot of pleasure from it, and I hope that you give this sort of thing a try if you've never tried it yourself. Painting can be so good for you. It can help you through a lot of problems that you're having. But if painting's not really your thing, at the very least, maybe you did enjoy this, and I hope that you join me next time. I look forward to seeing you again. I think that, the next one, I don't know what it's going to be quite yet. I haven't really decided, but I look forward to having you with me, as always. I love having you here. Anyway, until then, with love from me to you, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.